You ready? Here we go. Good morning, everyone. On today's show, we got a lot to talk about, including let's plan for the impending release of the Marvel vs. Capcom collection coming out. I believe it's supposed to be this Wednesday, but I'll be here playing it all day Thursday, including what to cover and how exactly we're going to tackle it. In addition, today live on this stream, I will respond to Low Tier God's, I don't even know what to call it, response to me. I was looking for this video like 2 days ago. I couldn't find it. Finally, someone sent it to me. So we'll watch it live, and I'll tell you the whole situation regarding this man because it's a pretty interesting one. And then we're going to talk a little bit about, guess what? Apparently, the PlayStation 5 Pro is about to be announced. So, good stuff to talk about on today's show. All this and more in just a moment. Alrighty, good morning. Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Let me turn the lights on. Welcome to the show. Today is Monday, the 9th of September, 2024. Today we get back on track with gameplay, and basically we're going to be doing a lot of gameplay for a while now. We may be doing more and different stuff in the future. For example, this Friday we have June the King coming on as the next guest on the podcast, but I basically need to hunker down and focus on gameplay in a very heavy way. Because if I don't, we will never, ever finish anything and get through any releases. Right now, we're in the midst of so much going on with games, and people are saying, are you going to play this game? Are you going to play this game? And it's like, how can I play more games when I'm already juggling so many that we're not even making any progress in, right? So what I need to do is tap the brakes. I need to focus on what we're doing. I'll talk with you today on the show about the upcoming and impending schedule so that we can figure this out. Notably, what I really want to do is talk about the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection that's coming out this week and how exactly to tackle it. Because I can see various different ways to approach it. I am going to play a heck of it, a lot of it at first, those first couple of days, and then we're going to try to get it into the schedule as a regular rotating game. But there's so many questions. Like, number one, if I'm going to play this a lot, what happens to Street Fighter 6, right? Which, quite frankly, I'm not playing enough of. Like tonight on the late stream, I'm playing Street Fighter 6. This is literally the only time I'm playing Street Fighter 6 this week. Playing it once a week is just not enough. You know what I mean? I can't. How am I going to hang with these people who are playing it nonstop competitively if I'm literally only playing it once a week? I just don't see how it's going to happen. You know what I mean? So, so what are we going to do? Right? We got to talk about it. We got to figure this out. Yeah. So anyway. There's just a lot going on right now. What I'd like to do quickly before we get too far into new topics for today, I would like to briefly recap yesterday and how it went and some updates and things like that. Okay? So first of all, there's some things you saw on camera yesterday and some things that happened off camera, but they're all kind of important. I want to talk about them. For example, on camera, you saw that my Philomania merch arrived and the t-shirt looks absolutely great. And I'll be wearing this in the future when I play WWE Champions, including tomorrow night on the late stream. Okay? However, the bandana that I ordered did not turn out properly at all. What happened was I was trying to order these things on my phone, and as I was trying to order the bandana, it gave me some kind of an error, like it wasn't loading right. So I just clicked through and said, all right, just order it, and then it comes like this. And obviously, this is not something I could wear on my head. It's huge. So instead, I will give the credit to Lucky Gremlin, who left a comment on the video yesterday about said merch and said, all right, so it's so huge, why don't you just use it in your background? Because right now, you know, one of the sides, it looks like this white felt that I was using. You kind of almost see through it. It doesn't look very good now that I have such a good camera. So why don't you put the Philomania banner like there? And I was like, oh yeah, why not? So I put it there and it looks good, right? I think it looks good in the setup. You guys let me know what you think. Obviously, this is a new edition, but it pops on camera. You can read it well. And now you don't see through it. which is good. So thank you to Lucky Gremlin for that suggestion in the comments of the video. And I hope that, you know, it'll look good. All right. And speaking of which, I just want to ask you guys how the lighting looks. I know it's bright green because I wanted to do different colors. You know, I'm tired of just doing blue or purple or red. I want to do various things. And I said, I'll try bright green, but man, it's bright. So if you guys think that this green is too strong, all right, let me know and we can adjust it maybe differently. Unless if it's fine, then it's fine. So let me know what you think in the chat as I'm streaming here today. And of course, in the comments of the video after the fact. Okay. So, yeah, so that's one day. I said, hey, why not toss that on there, right? That'll be pretty cool. The other thing is, as you know, over this last week, I've been messing around with this controller, which is the Xbox Elite 2 controller. And I've been, number one, I played it once in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for like a match or two, and I hated Modern Warfare 3, so I couldn't really tell if it was any good. Then the accessories kit showed up, and I used the convex left thumbstick and the extended height right thumbstick, and it worked great. Like, no exaggeration, I really liked how it worked. I thought that it was working really, really well. And I was very excited to play Call of Duty with it. I kicked ass. Like, I was doing really good. I was top of the leaderboards, like, every match. It was really, really good. So, I'm like, this is excellent. But I was using it wired. So now, this person, to complete the set, sent me the wireless adapter for it for PC. And I'm like, oh, that's excellent. So now it should sync wirelessly. But I'm not exactly sure it's working. Because watch, when I push the button, okay? So now it's supposed to sync. It did? Okay, good. Because earlier it wasn't. Earlier it was just searching and wasn't finding the controller, but now it did. So there you go. So now this is a wireless controller that is synced with my PC. It auto charges overnight. All I got to do is go put it down into the case, the accessories case that has the charging dock on it, and it charges itself overnight. So this is excellent. I now have a full-fledged, pro-level, awesome competitive controller to play all games. I mean, obviously for competitive games like Call of Duty, that's where this is going to come in better, right? But, I mean, even today I'm playing Black with Wukong. It might work better for that. I don't know. You know, we'll see. I might have a little more responsiveness. The triggers now are much shorter. Very small touching of the triggers to get them to activate. And that might help me a lot, you know? So we'll see today as I play. I'm excited to use it and see how it turns out. It might be really good, okay? Cool. All right, by the way, the third thing I want to talk about, and this will lead into some shout-outs, is, ladies and gentlemen, we have hit King Streak 41. 41 straight streams where we have crushed the goals and keep hitting that King's Tips goal, plus other things, because as we've been doing this, people are still contributing in other ways. They're gifting memberships. They're doing super chats. It's really nice, and thank you everyone who has contributed in some way during this 41 stream streak. Absolutely insane, right? Now, here's the thing. I've noticed definitely a dip in the viewership and momentum on the channel, and that's bound to happen. Number one, the drama's over. I've already reacted to my documentary. That's done, right? I've already confronted Keemstar and Stuttering Craig. That's done. So moving forward, there's going to be a heck of a lot of gameplay, and there's going to be, you know, nice interviews moving forward. No drama. It's going to be good, positive stuff on the channel, which that's what I'm interested in, okay? So if you're here for that ride, welcome. And there will be some drama stuff. Like I said, today we're going to talk about LTG. So every once in a while, you're going to have it. And don't worry if my detractors act up and become complete idiots. Yes, I will bring them up. You know, I did it with Duty. I did it with Super Crazy. And I'll do it again with other detractors if they keep acting like morons. All right? But I don't need to harp on that. You know what I mean? Like, that's something I can do from time to time. But right now, everything's cool and positive. But the thing is, on YouTube, people don't necessarily like it so much when things are cool and positive. They want to come by when there's drama and there's all this stuff going on. So definitely I've noticed, you know, viewership and everything has gone down a little bit. And that was kind of going to happen, I felt. You know, I'm happy to make content for my core audience of gamers. And then once in a while when I do something special, like an interview's coming up or I'm talking about a particular topic to get people back interested, you know, that's cool. I'm still going to keep making highlights. But the highlights will vary greatly depending on what we're talking about. Like yesterday, I didn't really have any dramatic highlights to talk about. So the highlights didn't do so good viewership-wise. And I'm not surprised at that either. You know, the highlights are going to do better when, oh, you're talking about a detractor. You're talking about an upcoming thing that's happening. You know what I mean? But even with the viewership and engagement waning a little bit here, the support continues. And this is outstanding. Like I said, your support on these streams has helped me so much. First things first, I think this month I'm definitely going to do something about some of these appliances and things that have been breaking in my house. I mean, I sat around for 2 years with no dishwasher. It's just sitting there broken, right? I sat around. Now I have no light in my dining room because it broke. It fell off the ceiling. And so, there's all these things I'm thinking about doing that I could do with this extra funds that I have because you guys supported me so much in the last month. And if it keeps up, like if we can keep the streak going for an extended period of time, it could change things long term, right? Like I was talking about maybe instead of migrating over to my wife's PC, buying a good PC for streaming and capturing, and exclusively that's all it will be for. So now I'll be working off a 2 brand new PC system. How awesome would that be, right? And of course, there's many other things as well that can happen. And that's all thanks to you. So thank you so much for the positivity, for the momentum, for the engagement, and all of this that is helping the channel and all of my content and my life, quite frankly. So speaking of which, we're at King Streak 41. Let's keep the momentum going today. Please tip if you enjoy the streams and the content. Please like the stream if you're here for the podcast. Wow, actually we have more people than I thought we would at this point because I haven't even started really talking about topics yet, and we almost have 400 viewers. If you're here and you're enjoying, please like the stream. Liking the stream would help a ton for engagement. We're at like 64 likes. Let's get that to 100. That would help a lot. Thank you guys. Free, easy to do. Just give a click on the like and thank you so much. All right, so let's keep it going. And I already announced this yesterday. If we hit King Streak 50, that would be on Saturday. So if we hit King Streak 50 on Saturday, I will do an impromptu Feasting with Phil, where I will order food live. It will get delivered, and we'll have of the return of Feasting with the King. I'm actually going to call it Feasting with the King again, which is originally what it was. And then I changed it because of shitbag detractors. And I said, you know what? Fuck this. The King moniker is mine again. I own it. Screw them. So it's going to be Feasting with the King again. All right. And that's going to be likely Saturday. As long as, nothing happens with my schedule, it will be Saturday when that happens. And that would be super fun. I love doing that. Ordering food and having a meal with you and talking about it and, hanging out. Because outside of that, I'm probably not going to do it again until like Halloween. All right. So I said, yeah, let's definitely do it, this weekend to celebrate the streak of 50 if we hit it. So please contribute. Thank you so much for supporting. Fill the King's coffers for the 42nd time today. That would be amazing if we could get it. If we could hit it before the podcast ends, that would be perfect. Because then I could just focus on Black Myth Wukong and not have to worry about it, right? Okay. Speaking of which, I have a few quick shout outs to do. Number one, T Gravy Z fan has done a super chat and says, Phil, longtime fan, I just beat cancer. Congratulations. Congratulations, really sincerely. That's something that is a huge accomplishment in life. It is an arduous, painful, debilitating task, right? But you did it. You got through the tunnel. You're at the other end. Congratulations to you. And thank you for the super chat. Then they actually did a second super chat and says, thank you all. It's been a long road and I had leukemia. Wow, and that's bad too. So congratulations on that. I'm very glad to hear that, and I wish you the best. Thank you for the 2 super chats. I also received a super chat from Solid Snoke, who says, what is your thoughts on Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake? I'm excited for it. When I played Metal Gear Solid 3 the first time ever in the HD collection of Metal Gear, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like, I was flubbing it, and I was just messing around, and I was making fun of Kojima. And I didn't understand the game mechanics, because I didn't really care to. It wasn't like, oh, I just couldn't figure it out. So I didn't care. Back then, I just fucked around. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't a serious player. The whole idea was to make entertainment content, not to be the world's best, gamer or let's player or whatever you want to call it. But people took massive offense at that. I would be playing Metal Gear and not trying my hardest and making jokes and doing that. You know what I mean? So I just find it funny. I really do. That people took it so ultra seriously because I never did. But that's what started. This is how you don't play and all of that, right? So anyway, I did replay the game one other time. And the other time that I replayed it, if I remember correctly, I didn't do so bad at all. I actually did pretty good. But the thing is, no one remembers when you do well. They only remember when you fuck up. And they make fun of you for it, right? So, when this remake comes out, yes, I'm absolutely interested in playing it. And I will. I'm excited for it. Okay? Fair enough? All right, so yesterday was React Day, and all day long we did React content. First, it was the clip show on DSP versus the internet, and notably, a very interesting clip that you guys might want to check out I reacted to the Dr. Disrespect return, where he basically explained himself and what really happened between him and Twitch over 4 years ago that got him banned. Let me put it this way. I'm not certain we will ever get the full story of what happened, because it seems like neither side is actually willing to come forward with real evidence. Each side is saying one thing or another, but there's no way to really prove what either side is saying without putting forward evidence, and no one has done that. So without the evidence, no one can really make a judgment, although people definitely have all over the internet. A lot of people don't like Doc anymore and hate him, and others like him again. So, you can watch my reaction. I think that is going live like right now, actually, over on DSP Reacts. I'm pretty sure it went live this morning. If you're interested, give it a look, and I hope that you will, I hope that you'll enjoy that. And so it was a good Clips React show. It really was. It was a very good Clips React show. Tons of stuff there that I reacted to. 3 parts are currently live. 3 more will go live over the course of the week, 1 a day. Or if you're a member over there on DSP Reacts, you can watch the whole stream right now. And then last night, we had a really fun, chill night last night. Over on DSP Throwback, we did a retro react stream to Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut. This is the original version of the game. Notice it's sticking out. A little better. There we go. That's much better. Okay. Yeah, Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut. The original PlayStation 1 version of the game, but it has some extra stuff like in there added in, because I honestly don't know what the Director's Cut is. What's odd about it? It seems like they censored it. Like in the intro cutscene in the original Resident Evil, they show someone lifting up a gun with a hand attached to the gun, and then the hand's severed and there's meat dangling from it, right? In this version, they cut the scene before the hand goes that far, so there's really no reason to freak out. So you don't even know what they're screaming at. It was really stupid. I was like, why did they censor that? Anyway, it was really fun. We got about 7 parts in. It's like roughly like an hour and 15, 20 minutes into the playthrough. And it was entertaining. It's the original Resident Evil, which I don't actually remember all the puzzles and everything in it. And it's cool to see my methodology, and I'm yelling at myself, no, put that into the item box. You don't need it, and do this and that. You know what I mean? So it's good, and we had a great time. Tis the season, because now we're heading into September, and very soon it's going to be autumn, and then you start thinking about horror, right? You start thinking about Halloween. You start thinking about that fall spooky essence, leaves and pumpkins and all kinds of stuff. And you think, oh, survival horror games, right? So it's the perfect time to be watching and reacting back to one of my classic playthroughs of Resident Evil. And it was a really chill time. We had a great one, and everyone enjoyed. So I hope that everyone will continue to attend those every Sunday night over on DSP Throwback channel. Okay? So I think like part 1's live, and then 1 part will go live a day. Yeah, that's how it works. So there you go. All right, so we had a great day reacting yesterday. All the content was great, and yes, we crushed the goals again. The streak continues. Thank you guys so very much for that. I appreciate that. All right. So today, what's up? Let's talk about the schedule for the week, because then we can get into our next topic, which is the MVC collection and how I'm going to cover it, because I think we need to have a discussion about that, okay? So here's the thing. My schedule's been fluctuating like crazy recently. This week is a short week for me. I'm already halfway done. I only have today and tomorrow, and I'm off on Wednesday. And I know that's weird. I agree with you. My wife's work schedule keeps changing all the time, and it screws everything up. But there's nothing I can do about it, okay? So, here's the deal. Today, after this podcast, it's more Black Myth Wukong. It's the only Black Myth Wukong stream I can even do this week. I'm hoping to finish Chapter 3. From what I understand, there's just a little bit more side content left to do, and then we can finish the chapter and move on. So, I definitely want to do that and see whatever Chapter 4 is. We'll get into it. I'm going to be using the Elite 2 controller. Hopefully it's good, using this controller. Hopefully it's a good experience. And I think it'll be a fun time. I hope that you guys will stick around after this podcast for that fun gameplay, okay? Then tonight on the late stream, it's the return of Street Fighter 6. And check this out. I've decided tonight, I was thinking about it. I was like, now wait a minute. In the order of characters that I've been playing, I was thinking about my setup. I was like, since I got this frame, I played with Dalsim because I remember having Dalsim animations. I played with Bison because I remember the Bison animations. And I just played with Blanca. You know who I didn't use? I'll tell you who I didn't use. He'll come up here in a second. So I haven't used a certain character in a while. I said tonight when I play, I want to go online, and I want to do ranked play with this particular character. He's going to be on screen in just a second. I don't want to spoil. Any second now. There we go. Honda. I haven't used him in a bit. And I was doing really good with him, actually. So, like, you know what? Let's bring back Honda for a late night chill, a late night chill stream, not chill stream, but a late night competitive stream, of Street Fighter featuring E Honda in ranked. Okay, it's gonna be good. All these new animations I got. It's funny because I started looking. I got these animations off of, like, you know, a website that has Street Fighter animations, but then I started searching again in their actual software that they have for this thing, and the community made a bunch of Street Fighter animations. So I'm actually gonna have a couple here that were actually made by the community that look really dope. And when I move forward playing Street Fighter, I can use those animations. They'll look really neat. Okay. So, good stuff. Look at that. The intro to Street Fighter 2. They animated it for the frame. How cool is that? pretty awesome, huh? So, tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. You go back to the Level 1 podcast stuff now. Here we go. 6:45 p.m. Pacific time on this channel. The return of Street Fighter 6. And it is time for Honda to return and crush the internet scrubs. And let's get some wins, and let's get some ranking points, some master points. Let's get them ranked up. All right? So that's tonight. I hope you'll join me for that on the late stream. Okay? Tomorrow will be my final consecutive streaming day of the week. I have to have Wednesday off this week. So tomorrow we're going to do more Astrobot. I played this back on Saturday. I absolutely love the game. It's a delightful platformer with amazing graphics, great gameplay elements. Similar to Super Mario Wonder, only it's the Sony Properties version, so it has all these Sony characters in it. Really fun game. Had a great time playing more of it tomorrow. Then tomorrow night, to end my streaming week, we're going to do it, folks. It's the return of Philomania, and it's the return of WWE Champions to the stream tomorrow night. And as long as people show up and support the stream, I will be pulling for some Hogans. Of course, I doubt there's going to be any Hogans to pull, but you know what I'm saying. I'm going to try to pull and get some loot and get some new characters. The new monthly event started already. In fact, it's already a week into it. I mean, that's how time flies. I knew reacting to my documentary last week was going to throw me off, and it definitely has. Like, I feel like I'm backlogged now on everything. So, WWE Champions, Tuesday night's late stream, like 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to play through some of the event because the event is going on right now for the month. We're going to see what characters are available. Maybe I can get the new freebie character. Maybe I can do some pulls to get some new characters for my roster. We'll see if people have joined the faction and what they've been doing because I haven't played the game in 2 weeks almost. You know, it's going to be a fun stream with pulls. People want to see pulls. You're going to see your pulls finally. All right. And I'll be wearing my Philomania shirt for that. Okay. Cool. So I'll be off from streaming on Wednesday, but when I return on Thursday, all right, this is the big thing going on, folks. Thursday is Dick Lightning returns. No, on Thursday, it is the release of the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. And I will be playing it all day long on Thursday here on DSPGaming. This collection features a ton of games, including X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 1, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, all with online play enabled, plus has an arcade beat-em-up that's called The Punisher. And that's kind of just that they threw it in there, I think, just because they didn't know what else to do with it. So, it's an exciting collection. These are the games that I grew up playing in arcades, and I absolutely love them, and I got really good at them. But I haven't played them in a zillion years. Seriously, I haven't played them in so long. There's definitely potential that I'm going to suck at them because I haven't been touching them in so long. And the FGC, for those who don't know, they're pretty hardcore. They're pretty try-hardish over there. I guarantee you, in the decade that I haven't played these games, there's been people playing them pretty much non-stop hardcore on things like Fight King, right? So quite frankly, I don't know how I'm going to do, but I'm excited. And here's what I want to talk with you guys about, all right? When I cover this game coming out on Thursday, and I'm playing it all day, both streams, because there's so many games to play, it makes sense, right? How would you like to see me cover it to start? Because if you remember, many years ago, there was the Capcom Classics collection. And when that came out, what I did is I did a history of Street Fighter. And I actually went through all of the different games in the collection, playing them single player through arcade mode once, to explain the gameplay elements, the changes between the games, the graphical changes, everything. And it was fascinating, I think. People liked it because they saw each game portrayed through its respective style in a row, and you could learn a lot about these games just by watching me play them, okay? So I'd be down for that if that's what you guys want. But the thing is, I guarantee you, people are going to be like, why aren't you playing the games online? Why aren't you playing against people online? Because that's all people want with fighting games. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're dying for online competitive play. And I hear you there too. So it's kind of like, I want to do the history of the versus games. I totally do. But at the same time, people will be clamoring, why didn't you run online? So I really don't know what to do. I'd be open to any suggestion about it. It's going to be amazing. I'll be using my Victrix joystick, which is a super great joystick. I've been using it for Street Fighter 6. It's so good. I can't wait to play the Versus series with this joystick. It's going to be absolutely outstanding. I'm using, PC. I'm going to have like 0 input delay. I'm going to set it up so that hopefully it has no input delay at all. And I can't wait. It's going to be great. So all day Thursday, it's the MVC collection. All right. And I hope you'll join me for that. And then on Friday, we're going to have June the King as a guest on the Level 1 podcast. The show will start around 11 a.m. I'll come do an intro, build up the crowd, get any tech issues hammered out. And then around 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, June will come on. It's going to be a couple of kings doing kingly things, if you know what I mean. We're just going to be chilling, talking about all kinds of stuff. And I want you to submit your questions for June. We have a community thread open right now on the main channel page of DSPGaming. It's just look on the community page, scroll down, you'll see I posted it up during yesterday's show. You can post up questions for June. And there's a ton already that are good questions. And of course, there's a few trolls who I banned, but I'm going to be using that after, my talk with him. I'm going to be using that to get some community questions to see what you guys want to ask him. All right. And I think some of those questions are fascinating. I really like those questions. All right. So please post up for June, and he's going to be a nice cordial guest on Friday. And then after that, we may do a decompression or not. It depends on how it goes. I don't think it's going to be like a tense interview. It's going to be nice and chill. But probably after that, we maybe jump in and do some more Marvel collection. And I'm going to do it all day Friday too. So basically all day Thursday is the Marvel collection. And then Friday, the June the King interview with a little bit of decompression after, and then more Marvel all day. So we're going to have 2 straight days of awesome versus gameplay here on the channel. And then on Saturday, we'll get back to normal. We'll start balancing the other games. So for example, on Saturday, I'll probably either play Black Myth Wukong or Astrobot and maybe balance that with like WWE Champions or something. And then the rest of the week will be normal week balanced stuff, okay? Outside of that, I know many of you will be like, well, what's next? What's next? Well, first off, as I told you guys, I don't necessarily want to be doing an interview every single week here on the channel. I feel like it's taking away. It is, right? It's taking away from the gameplay and the schedule. So I don't want to do it every single week. But if I can get a guest or two between now and the end of the month, I will. Like, I'm already talking to a couple of people, and I'm trying to get scheduling in. And it's looking like I may have another guest by the end of September. It's just not locked in yet. I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver, so I'm not going to do that. I'll tell you basically when it's solidified that I have my next guest. And it'll be good, trust me. We're gonna, and by the way, when Kino Casino comes back, I already have been in a little bit of talks with them. Likely we're gonna be doing some stuff together. It's just not, again, it's not a lock yet. We have to wait for them to come back and get them back into their own schedule because they were gonna be gone for like a month. And they got to get into the swing of things for themselves. Their fans are dying to see them because they've been away for a while now, like over 2 weeks, right? So now their fans are like, dude, we absolutely want them back. And when they come back, I'll see what they want to do. Because people are like, will you do more Chain together? Maybe. Will I do another game with them? Maybe. Will I be on their show? Maybe. I don't know. It's up to them when they come back, and I'm sure they're going to have ideas of things they want to do. So I'll let you know. All right? And then because that's the thing. I'm maintaining momentum by myself, which is good. But definitely when you have the collabs and the things going on constantly, now you get more hype drummed up. And the hype is kind of dead because they've been gone for a few weeks. The collab hype is dying down. So it is what it is. But when they come back, we'll see what happens. All right? There you go. All right. That's all I really have to say about the schedule and all of that right now. I don't want to talk about that for too long. What I do want to do is I want to address a certain individual, all right, who over the years has had association with me, but has he really? It's just kind of a weird thing, all right? And I think today is the day to address it because we got a few things going on in this regard. And I'm going to try to address it as matter-of-factly and fairly as I can, okay? So let's talk about it, okay? Oh, by the way, over 400 viewers on the stream, 96 likes, guys. Let's hit 100 likes. In fact, we're going to hit 100. Let's hit 150 likes. Right now, if you're here and you're enjoying the Level 1 podcast, please like the stream. I would absolutely appreciate if you did. Please consider supporting the stream in any way. Super chats, memberships, gifted memberships, or tips. Right now, outside of those few super chats I shouted out, we got nothing. And like I said, it would be great if we could hit and continue the King streak and keep that momentum going and basically get some progress before I play the game. That way I can just focus on the game, all right? But hey, anything is appreciated, all right? And you guys helped so much recently. Let's right now we have no members. Let's get some memberships for the community. People are sitting here. I see so many gray names in the chat. People want some memberships, so consider contributing in that way too. That helps a ton. Okay? As I'm saying this, I actually have received my first tip of the day. It is a $10 tip from BB Phil. With all the positive experiences you've had, you insist on being the one to contact people in this FGC. I bet even something with Taquito could be arranged with enough effort. And I sent you a DM on X. You did? You have to understand, BB Phil, I get a ridiculous amount of spam everywhere. No lie. It's hard for me to keep track of everything. And hopefully I'm not missing stuff that's, like, important. Because I get the feeling that, sadly, I am, like, missing shit. Particularly, you know, since I started going more active on X in the last month, I get spammed with so much shit. So if you sent me a DM, I didn't see it. I definitely didn't see it. And don't take offense at that. It's probably I didn't know who you were or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I probably had no clue. Anyway, here's the deal. I've already thrown out some feelers to people who I thought I'd be interested in interacting with in the FGC. I've gotten a couple responses. But it's not like we're going back and forth with active conversations. Like every few days I hear back from someone, then I go back to them, and then they go back to me. It's kind of like a casual back and forth. Right now, there's no one in the FGC who I've solidified for anything. All right? Any kind of appearance, any kind of discussion, nothing. I would like to, but I can't make people care. You know what I'm saying? I've been so far removed from the FGC, right, that it's hard to get people to care again. You know what I'm saying? They don't think of DSPFGC. Like, why would I spend time talking to him, right? Now, here's the thing. I don't want you going and harassing people. I don't want you going to their Twitters and their streams and shit. Like, if there's already someone who's a streamer and you like their content and you'd like to see interaction, so you could suggest it to them, but I don't want you going and harassing these people. I do not condone that whatsoever. I don't want people now getting the wrong impression and thinking, oh, this is now time that I should go and start spamming this guy in his inbox and start spamming all of his streams and start doing all that. No. Particularly because I can already tell you're misinformed. Because if you're not aware, he actually names certain names in his tip. He's not aware that one of the people in his tip is deceased. You see what I mean? Why don't you get this person on, this person on? That person's dead. How can I get them on the show exactly? Like, what are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? This is where it gets out of hand, I believe, right? So, listen, if you want to see some collabs, I would say suggest them to me, and you feel free to contact me and give me information on if there's a way to talk with these people, right? Seriously. I'm interested in that, in reaching out and talking to people. I'm not interested in my fans going and harassing the people for me, because there's a difference between the person involved actually reaching out and saying hello versus other people reaching out and saying, oh, through the grapevine, are you interested in this? Are you interested in that? You know what I'm saying? But if you have suggestions, I'm open to that. Contact me, right? And let me know who it is that you're interested in, if they have contact information. Like, for example, I'll be honest, there's a couple people in the FGC I was interested in interacting with. I can't find a way to contact them. You go to their Twitter, you can't DM them. They have no contact information listed anywhere. So unless you tweet directly publicly at them, they'll never see it. And even if you do, they still might not. And it's like, do I really want to? Do I really want to harass this person on Twitter? Because I have to say it that way, because whenever I tweet someone, a bunch of shitbag loser no-loads, right, come after them. And we'll tell them, oh, Phil's a piece of garbage. You don't want to interact with Phil. He's a piece of shit. Because they're just losers. That's all they do all day. They have no fucking lives. So imagine you're in the FGC. You have nothing to do with Darkside Phil, but you're actively involved in the FGC. All of a sudden, you get a tweet from Darkside Phil. It says he's interested in talking with you and maybe having you on a podcast or having some interaction. And then 100 fucking trolls go and harass you on Twitter. Are you going to want to do it? Of course not. That's what I mean. I want to talk to these people behind the scenes. That way it's not some public call out, because then it doesn't work. You see? So I think that's the best way to go about it. Let me know behind the scenes who you'd like to see me collab with. If you have information on these people, send it my way. I'd be more than happy to interact with people in the FGC, but I actually need people to give me a chance, and they're not going to if you're harassing them on their socials and in their content, or if we're blowing them up with a public tweet. They're not going to react well, okay? Okay. All right, see you later, Lucky Gremlin. All right, Sybil did a super chat. Says, DSP, why does LTG call you old when he's 40? Why would you ask me that? Like, you have to ask the man that. You don't ask another person what's in the mind of a different person. How the hell would I know? Right? Anyway, let's get to the topic, because obviously this is what you guys want to talk about today, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, there's someone in the FGC, the fighting game community. His name is Low Tier God, all right? And Mr. Sparrow, as he likes to call himself, because I think that's the name he likes to go by, over the years has essentially been what the FGC would argue to be a really toxic element. And what I mean by that is, through his actions, through his words, the things he said and done, the FGC just doesn't like this guy. Now, you might ask me, well, what do you mean? I don't know. I mean, I'll be truthful with you guys. I literally don't know. I don't know what he's actually done to gain the ire of the FGC, because he started doing this after I was done with the FGC. Like, I was part of the fighting game community through 2007. I officially retired from competitive play at that point. When Street Fighter 4 came out, I covered it fully for YouTube. And I went to a few tournaments and I covered them. But I kind of retired from that life around 2011. And I just haven't cared about it since. Do I still cover fighting games? Oh, yes, I do. I love fighting games. I still cover them. I still make tons of coverage and play them all the time. But I'm not going to tournaments. I'm not covering tournaments. I don't care about the competitive, high-level life of grinding and doing well in the FGC. I just don't give a shit, okay? So, this guy, low-tier guy, I guess became famous or infamous or whatever you want to call it after I was already done with the FGC. Like, he was a nobody, but when I was still going to tournaments and caring, all right? Now, from what I'm going to understand, LTG is called the Black DSP by the FGC. But here's the thing. DSP is not part of the FGC, nor have I been for ages. So the only thing I can think of, all right, is that they're comparing him to me back in the day. Like we just covered in my documentary by June the King, that in my days in Street Fighter, I was the biggest internet shit talker possible. I would open my mouth and I would, spew out trash talk and threats and all kinds of stuff. The whole idea was to build up hype for a tournament, so that when we went to the tournament, people would care about seeing me either win or lose against certain people. Usually lose. They were always rooting against me, right? But that was the thing. It was hype. It would get people excited to go to the tournament and see DSP be challenged and lose and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's, if anything, right? That's the only thing I can think of in regards to this man, that they're saying that he's like me. Maybe he's an insanely huge internet shit talker. And then maybe he goes to the tournament and he loses. I don't know, right? Who knows? I don't know. So I don't know, but all I know is they've said this for ages, that he's the Black DSP. Okay? Now, I am aware that at one point, he had a big rivalry with Viscan, Jay Snyder. And the thing is, back in the day, I had a fake rivalry with Viscan. It wasn't real. I guess Jay might have thought it was. It never was. To me, it was a joke. I didn't really give a shit. But I guess because he picked a fight with Jay Snyder, that's what led to people also saying that he's the Black DSP, because they're like, oh, look, he's doing the same thing DSP did back in the day, right? Only the difference is, with my rivalry with Jay Snyder, It didn't go anywhere, and I just said, this is stupid, it's fake, squash it. And then we were cool after that. Like, I have no problems with the guy, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any problems with me either, you know? But then, with LTG, for whatever reason, I guess, I don't know how it happened, but he got into this big heated rivalry with Jay Snyder, and it culminated in this tournament where they both attended, and it was it Street Fighter 5 it was that they played, I think? And I think Jay beat him, and then Jay talked monstrous shit to him, and rightly so, because he beat him. And since then, I guess what's happened is LTG has essentially laid low. And what I mean by that is not that he stopped making... This puff of hair is really annoying me if you can't tell. It just won't stay down. Some days it does, and other days it just sticks straight up. It's really annoying. Whatever. Who gives a shit, right? Okay. Just like a pet peeve of mine. It bothers me when I see that on camera. But anyway, oh, it was Street Fighter 4? It was it was actually Street Fighter 4, not Street Fighter 5, excuse me. So it was that long ago, okay? In that regard, LTG loses, Jay talks a bunch of shit. And since then, LTG has basically publicly said that whole thing was a mistake and a waste of time because he had nothing to gain from it. Like, when he lost, now the whole internet uses him as, you know, makes fun of him. And it makes everyone, it's big negativity, right? So for him, he doesn't see that basically there's any reason to do anything. Wait, people are saying LTG won? LTG beat Jay Snyder in the money match? I thought he lost. And that's where the... No, because Jay won and then he talked shit after the fact. So what are you talking about? That's right. LTG lost and Viscant popped off on him, essentially, right? Something about the taste of his dick in his mouth or something like that, if I remember correctly. Right? So, after that, LTG basically was like, he didn't want to do any more of this kind of stuff. I guess he did a few. I don't know if he won or lost some other rivalries that he had. But, basically, in his mind, he's basically not going to get anything out of a rivalry. He thinks that, you know, it's no benefit to him to have a rivalry and win or lose. Like, it's not worth his time. Okay? So, he kind of sits around on his streams by himself, isolated. Doesn't really collab with anyone. Doesn't really do much besides just sit there and rage at fighting games and suck half the time. Because I've seen some of his content. Sometimes he plays really well, and other times he's awful. Right? And what's funny is people are like, yeah, he gets lots of views and subs. And you look at his stream and you're like, there's no fucking way that's real. The guy's terrible. Half the time, he's losing, and he's so upset, and he bans all these people. He literally, if he gets hit with a super, he dashboards, meaning he hits the button to go to the dashboard so he doesn't see the super connecting, and then he goes back to the game after the fact. So basically, he can't handle getting hit by a super. He's memorized the lengths of super animations. He doesn't have to see them, okay? So anyway, basically, his content is very bizarre. And you'll watch it, and you'll see that he has, like, thousands of viewers, but where is the support from the viewers? Because they don't support it. The only way he gets support is that he gets subs on Twitch, but it's very bizarre. He's claiming he has over 3,000 subs, but it's like, do you think those are real? If a guy who's so infamous and hated, right, in the community, no one really likes the guy. People watch to make fun of him. Why would he have over 3,000 active subs on Twitch? It's just bizarre, right? It is. It's very weird. And some people have already reached out to me and told me that it seems like a lot of them are fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe a lot of these are fake subs and people who found ways around it. I don't know if you could do the Argentinian bullshit over there on Twitch like you could do on YouTube. I would hope not, but maybe that's what it is. Or perhaps it's like, some people have these weird conspiracy theories that are fucking way out there. They're like, so he pays bot accounts to come in, and he bots the subs, so he looks more popular than he is, and he's paying for his own subs. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that. I think that's the most ludicrous thing I've ever fucking heard. You really think someone would pay for their own subs to look more popular than they are? I don't think so. That's insanity to me. Like, that's so elaborate and it's too dumb. You know what I'm saying? Apostate Cantus says his chat moves way too slow. When he does a poll, he only gets like 40 votes. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do a poll right now. Ready? Do you think LTG has bot accounts on Twitch? Yes or no? Okay? You guys vote in the chat. Do you think that LTG has this whole bot thing going on Twitch? Let's see what you guys think. All right. And by the way, we have over 500 viewers now, so if you could please hit the like button to help this stream, I would appreciate that very, very much. And if you could contribute, I would also appreciate that. Right now, we only have about $8 of super chats, no members whatsoever, and $10 in tips. We can do better than that. Come on, let's fill the King's coffers. Let's keep the vestry, or the vestry. Let's keep the King Street going today. All right, let's get it going. All right. No, I don't mean view botting. I mean botting in general. Because how is it that, again, the guy apparently isn't liked, right? Yet he has over 3,000 plus subs? That doesn't make sense at all. And by the way, if he had over 3,000 plus subs, the guy wouldn't have any problems with anything, financially or anything, right? But apparently the rumors are that he has a lot of problems. Now, I'm not going to delve into that because that's none of my fucking business. If he has financial problems and personal problems, I don't care. That's nothing to do with me. I hate when people try to go into that shit. But essentially, it just seems to be very bizarre. Okay? Very, very fucking bizarre. The whole situation over there. All right? So anyway, what does this have to do with me? Okay? Well, here's what it has to do with me. The guy brings me up from time to time, or people bring me up from time to time. Correct? And he talks about me. So several years ago, there was a situation where we were interested in maybe doing like matches. It was in a collection. Was it the Capcom Classics? No, it was one of these collections that came out. And people proposed to me, they said, why don't you play LTG in it? And I was like, I think that would be neat. Because, for example, I know that I'm super good in Super Turbo and I would beat him. But I don't know if he would beat me in the other games. Like, maybe he's better than me at Third Strike or Alpha. I don't even know. So why don't we do a fun event? Since everyone always talks about us in the same circles and everything, why don't we do a fun event where basically it's him versus me, and we'll go at each game and we'll see who wins what or whatever, right? And basically, he said publicly, I don't want to do it because I don't think that there's anything to benefit from it. Like, if there was a guarantee that this guy was going to make bank or something, then he would do it. But he's like, there's no guarantees for me that I'm going to get any positivity out of this, so I don't want to do it. I can appreciate that honest response. Here's why. There's a lot of things that over the years people try to get me involved in. I don't want to do them because I don't see the point, right? For example, this documentary with Mike Klum, at first I thought maybe yes, and after a while I was like, nah, I don't think so. I don't see the point, right? Maybe eventually that would change, but right now I have no interest in it whatsoever. Okay? None. Zero. So, I get it. I get that answer. And at that point, it was kind of all respectful or whatever. And a few years had gone by or whatever. And then Street Fighter 6 was coming out. Now, I want you to think about this, okay? Street Fighter 6 is coming out. Huge popularity, reinvigoration into the fighting game community. Everyone's playing Street Fighter all of a sudden. The game is heavily lauded. It's reviewed very well. Everyone's talking about Street Fighter. I said, now is the time. Now is the time. If we were going to do something, this would be the best possible time. Everyone is talking about Street Fighter 6. Let's do a hype set, first to 10, right? And you can stream your perspective. I stream mine. I guarantee you that this event would be popular. People would like it. And I said, let's even do it Evo week. Let's do it while Evo is broadcasting its qualifying rounds. And let's get our streams to beat Evo's. Because I bet it would. I bet we get thousands of viewers to watch us go at it. And it would beat Evo's attendance stream because no one cares about the fucking qualifying pools. We'll beat out Evo, right? How fun would that be? He basically comes back at me with the most, like, stupid, half-assed stuff. He says shit about my appearance. He's like, oh, you got to come back to me. You have to work on your sexy. You have to look different. You have to, change your... First of all, he insults my setup when arguably my setup's better than his. He insulted my setup, saying that my everything looked bad and stuff. It's like, dude, you haven't looked at my shit in years. Obviously, you're talking out of your ass, right? And he starts talking about my appearance and shit. I'm not crispy enough and shit. It's like, what are you talking about? We're talking about Street Fighter. We're not talking about a fucking fashion show where we're walking down the catwalk in Milan. You know what I mean? I'm not a fucking supermodel. We're talking about Street Fighter. You're nuts. Like, the things he's saying are just fucking, like, unhinged nonsense. Like, no fucking rational human would be saying this shit. But I think it's just part of his shtick at this point, okay? And also, he's talking about the gym and my beard and shit. It's like, the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, why are you hanging on my physical appearance? Like, I'm not looking to go on a date with you. I'm not going to buy you chocolates and give you roses and wine and dine you with a fucking filet mignon. I just want to beat your ass at Street Fighter. And then it would be fun because everyone would have a good time and we'd all make bank, right? So after me responding to his absolutely ludicrous original response, he goes on Twitter and he DMs me and he goes, so you're clout chasing. Like, I want you to think about this. LTG thinks that I, Darkside Phil, would gain clout by playing him. He actually thinks that. He thinks that. Like, okay, bro, whatever you say, you really think I'm going to get clout. No, what it's going to be a hype-ass stream that everyone wants to see. It's what everyone wants to see. It's going to be fun as hell. Everyone will be talking about it. We're going to get views. We're going to make money on it. It's going to be a good time for both sides. It doesn't even matter who wins or loses. People will like it, right? But he says that I'm the clout chaser. Like, dude, I have absolutely... And I'm just so confused, right? I don't understand what the fuck he's talking about. So basically, he said that, and he says, the only way that I'll play you is $5,000 up front. And then he blocked me on Twitter. Okay? And that was over a year ago. That was like summertime a year ago, during the early days of Street Fighter 6 and Evo going on in there. Okay? So basically, for like a year, I've stayed away from the guy because I'm like, I don't really care. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the guy's, first of all, I hate to say it, the guy really, any popularity he had, it's gone. He tried to go on this, like, tour of popularity where he went on Destiny's podcast and had an interview with Destiny, and he thinks it did something for him. It did not. It didn't do anything. It was hilarious because he thinks it's some big deal that he went on Destiny's podcast. You're aware that Destiny asked me on his podcast multiple times, and I always tell him no, there's no fucking point. I want nothing to do with that guy. He ain't gonna do nothing for me. He's, you know what I mean? And the funny part is, he really believes that, like, he deserves $5,000 or something, right? He really does. Like, he genuinely believes $5,000 should be given to him for an appearance. What LTG doesn't realize is that nobody cares about him. So no one would pay him $5,000 to do anything, all right? LTG, I was offered $50,000 to be on a podcast for Keemstar, okay? Because I have value in my appearances and what I have to add. And you know what I mean? People are interested in what Darkside Phil is up to. No one offered you anything to be on a show because no one cares. No one wants you on their show. No one's going to pay you $5,000 for anything. You're out of your mind. Now, the funny part is, you could make $5,000 if you agreed to do something with someone. Not Destiny, because no one gives a fuck about Destiny interviewing you. They want drama. They want hype. They want something exciting. DSP and LTG having some kind of a collab would actually put butts in seats. It would get people talking. It would get people stirred up in the drama sphere. They want to see it. They're excited for that because people have called you the Black DSP for so many years. That would actually get people, wow, let's do it. Let's see the face-off finally of DSP versus LTG. Let's get it going. And by the way, as funny as this would be anything. It could be us playing Street Fighter. It could be us literally sitting here and having an interview on the Level 1 podcast and finally interacting, you know, one-on-one. That's what people want. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's exactly what they want. But this guy seems so averse to anything that would benefit him. Instead, he just wants to sit there on his little stream and he wants to talk to himself in his little, you know, isolated bubble and sit there with his 3,000 subs, which probably aren't real. And this is his life. He's okay with that. I mean, I just don't get that. All right? I don't. But anyway, a week or two ago, as I started to reach out, all right, to the internet and say, who is it that you guys would like to see me do interactions with? A lot of people said LTG. Now, the thing is, I have no way to actually, at all, reach out to this man because he blocked me. You know what I'm saying? He blocked me on fucking Twitter, so I can't interact with him at all. Okay? So, I tweeted this. I'll read it word for word for you. All right? If Low Tier God would climb out of his castle, and I mean that too, because I think he feels like he's the king of his own castle. He's the lord of his own domain, but he actually won't reach out to anyone else. He just wants to be himself. And I understand that to some extent. But at some point, you got to branch out. Look what I've done in the last month and a half and how it's benefited me and everything, right? It really has been a giant benefit for everyone. So if Low Tier God would climb out of his castle and be on the Level 1 podcast and have a respectful and normal conversation with me, it would break the internet. Just like if he played me in Street Fighter 6 last year during EVO weekend as I'd proposed. But he declined, called me a clout chaser, and he blocked me. Is there any way to make this man see reason? I just want to make the match of the millennium happen. What's wrong with that? He would make $5K easy from his viewers, and that's what he asked me to pay for his time. Yes, for real. All right? So, officially, LTG, you are never going to receive $5,000 from anyone. No one cares about you enough. But if you were to appear on this show, if you were to play me in Street Fighter, you would make $5,000 from your audience. If they're already giving you 3,000, 4,000 subs on Twitch, they're going to give you what you want. But you actually have to put the work in. It's not you get it up front and then you maybe decide to put the content out. No, you have to be making the content, then you get rewarded for it. That's how this works. There's no get paid up front for internet content. That doesn't happen. You understand? I know I've been in this, I've definitely been in this business for a while. I know how it works. It's you make the content, people like the content, then you receive compensation for said content. Not you get paid first and then you do the work. That's not, you're not a contracted worker on a contract here to build a house or whatever. You're making, drama shit on the internet. You understand? So anyway, that's the last thing I really said about LTG. Someone said to me, he responded, Phil, but I was looking for days. I couldn't fucking find this video. Finally, someone sent it to me. All right, here it is. And this video is old. It's like a week old, I guess. So I must have missed it when he did it, because this was from September 5th, but apparently this was like from the day or two before on his stream. All right, so here it is. He's going to respond to that tweet. I promise you, I have not, I got to move my camera because I'm blocking him. I have not watched this at all. I have absolutely no clue what this man is about to say. I really don't. So let's watch it together live. All right, and now I got some shout outs to do, but let's watch it together live. Here we go.
New fighting games come out? What are you talking about? I'm not a part of the FGC. I wouldn't know. I know the same shit you do. Fatal Fury? I don't fucking know.
Here we go. So I see, I'm taking a look at his setup, and I see in his background he has the hexagon felt panels. So he has, basically he has the dollar store version of my setup. That's what that is. That's the really cheap one that you can get. Like you could buy a ton of those for like 20, 30 bucks. And it's just like little sticky tape you put on the wall. So it's basically like the far, far inferior version of what I have behind me. But he's going to say to me that my setup is bad and my setup's terrible and his is really, really good. Right? Right. Okay, whatever you say, bro. By the way, let's take a look at the poll. 59% of people feel that he's got some kind of bot thing going on Twitch. That's what the poll said. And by the way, there were hundreds of votes there. Hundreds and hundreds. He gets 333 votes I got. He gets like 40. I got 333 votes on my stream that has over 600 viewers and climbing. If you are here and you're enjoying yourself, guys, please hit the like button. We're at 150 likes. Let's get it to 200. Let's get to 200 likes here on the stream today. And please support the stream. I'm going to do some shout outs for super chats in a second. But everything else would be great. I mean, we're trying to hit the tips goal. Let's get to some tips going. All right. So, all right, here we go.
What is this? If Low Tier God would climb out of his castle to be on Level 1 podcast and have a respectful, normal conversation with me, it would break the internet. Just like if he played me in Street Fighter 6 last year during EVO weekend, as I proposed, but he did.
What? Why is his mouth? Wait a minute. Look at his mouth. It's not synced with the audio. Why is his mouth not synced with his audio? Take a look at his mouth moving and the audio. It's not synced at all.
Klein called me a cloud chaser and blocked me. I don't remember blocking him. I don't think about this nigga. Is there any way to make this?
I don't remember blocking him. His audio is desynced, by the way. It's not synced properly. I don't remember blocking him. Dude, you did it in a big spectacle. The way you did it. It's because it's a video on demand. Because someone ripped this from his stream. Oh, okay. Well, fair enough then. It's not his quality then. I won't actually take shot for that. If that's not the case. If he's synced on his streams, then it's all good. He does have the dollar store background that you can get for like $30 and doesn't really do anything. But okay, let's continue.
Man, see reason. I just want to make the match of the millennium happen. What's wrong with that? He would make 5K easy from his viewers, and that's what he asked me to pay for his time. I wouldn't give me 5 bands then, nigga. Run my 5 bands up front.
No one will ever pay you 5 bands for anything because you're not worth that. You understand? They'll pay me $50,000 to be on a podcast. They won't pay you anything because you're not worth it. You have to earn it. You have to actually put in the content and the work first, and then you'll be rewarded. So if you show up on this show, if you play me in Street Fighter, you're going to earn 5,000 easy from your viewers, but you have to do the work first. You don't just get rewarded for nothing. You're not God's gift to humanity. No one's going to be opening their fucking wallets to toss money at you. You're delusional with the way you're acting here.
And then I'll think about it. There is no what I'll make. Just give me the money.
So he wants 5,000 and he'll think about it. On what universe do you exist? Dude, you're sitting in an office with a $30 background, but you tell me that my shit looks bad, right? You're worse than me as Street Fighter. Like, what are you talking about? No one's going to pay you 5 bands for anything. If you went to the bank and you tried to rob the bank, they wouldn't give you 5 bands. They'd probably give you like 1 band. Because they'd be like, nah, that's LTG. He only gets the 1. Like, there's no way this is happening ever. You're out of your mind. You may and likely will make 5 bands if you do the content first. All right? But you have to do the content first.
If it's not about revenue, I don't give 2 shits for the most part. If it comes to me using my character, my presence, I must be paid. I've done.
And you will when you do the work. Does he have an LED wall that's on his right-hand side that cannot be seen on camera? Is that LED panels that he bought and he put them on his wall, but you can't see them in his setup? Is that what that is? What's up, Game Boy? How you doing, man? If we're gonna use his character, he needs to be paid. You will be paid after the work. That's how life works. You get paid after the work for the work you put in. Really, I tell you right now, do you guys not think that if that man came on my show and we sat here for an hour shooting the shit about everything, right? Everything. And I'm sure he'd talk some shit and I would talk some shit, right? But we could talk about all kinds of shit. Don't you think that people would like support that guy and give him some income and be like, hey, that was a really rare appearance for you. That was really good. Here's some income. Because instead of going on Destiny's show, which no one gives 2 fucks about him, being on Destiny's show, there's no corroboration there. There's no relation there. You're actually reaching out to someone who people have wanted to see you interact with for so many years, right? That's where you're going to get the benefit from. Not from going to some random show that no one cares about that fucking crossover at all. You got to go to what people have been asking for, right? But he definitely would make bank. I don't know if he would make $5,000 or anything, but he definitely would make some bank because he was on here. He would fucking, his follow, again, look at his sub count that's below his screen there, which I guess is legit. 3,626 out of 3,700. On subs alone, this man is making like $7,000, $8,000 a month. Minimum, because it could be more. I don't know what his sub level is, but if it's that $5 sub level on Twitch, right? Then he's making 7, 8K a month just on subs alone. That's huge. That's to be applauded. That's to be respected, that you're making that much. Why don't you think that your fans would then support you even further? Right? This doesn't make any sense at all. I'm lost. Let's continue because there's still more. I thought that would be it, but there's 3 more minutes. Let's see what he said.
And too many things for free in life already. I'm to the point where if I'm doing it and it's something that's not my passion, I got to be paid for it. Simple.
Yeah, he seriously has an LED panels on his setup, but it's off camera. So why'd you buy it? It's for you to stare at it? Like, he's got the $30 felt wall behind him, and he doesn't put the LED panels behind him? What is he doing? Just move them over.
So give me 5 bands, and I'll play you in a stupid Street Fighter game. Marquette thinks he's so slick. I just ordered food and he started doing.
Is the rest of it about fucking cats now? Is it really like another 3 minutes that has nothing to do with me? Is that really it?
on this. Niggas trying to steal a wing real quick or a fry.
All cats are like this. Jasper does this too. What Jasper does, he'll slink up.
Cats eat fries.
He'll slink up to food and act like nonchalantly, like he's not doing nothing. And then all of a sudden he'll inch a little slower, a little closer to it, and then he'll try to go for it or sniff it or lick it when you're not looking. But he tries to act all sly and casual, like he's not paying attention, right?
Nah, bro.
My chat is
I literally
screwed up.
would.
Hold on, my chat is screwed up. I'm trying to do something and it's not agreeing with me. Fighting me here. There we go. Okay.
Like, it's very simple. Anybody that wants clout off me,
I will not get any clout off you. At all. No one's going to be, oh my God. Phil now has really increased his internet stature because he did interactions with LTG. At all. There's no clout to be gained, all right? There's entertaining content to be made that people want to digest and see. People have always said, you're the black DSP. They've wanted to see this crossover happen for ages. I've heard it year after year. People always ask me for it, and I'm like, I can't give it to you because he refuses. All right? This is how the internet works. I don't know, like, where he's been. I mean, he's been making content for how many years? He doesn't understand this is how the internet works. That you make content people want to see, they watch it. And then they actually fucking, like, pay you for it after you've made it, right? This is just dumb, right? What he's saying, there's no logic to what he's saying. You understand? He's just in this weird world where everyone pays him and then he'll just do things. No, you don't get paid up front for anything. You earn it.
just pay me.
No one's going to ever pay you. Ever. No one. No one's going to offer you money up front for anything. There's no value there. They want you to make the content first and you'll be rewarded for it as it's happening. That's how content creation on the internet works.
You wanna set with low tier guy? Give me money.
And the thing is, he even read it, and it doesn't even say I want a set. It says I want him on the show. I want him on the podcast. Why does he think I want to play him in Street Fighter? Like, I'm gonna be real with everyone. I'm gonna beat his ass in Street Fighter if we play. Right? Like, literally, it doesn't. The only, like, he'll beat me in like Street Fighter 4 and 5 because I didn't play those. But if we're playing Street Fighter 6, if we're playing a classic Street Fighter game, I'm gonna beat his ass. The guy is not that good. All right. And if he says I don't care, I'm not part of the FGC. Okay. Then forget the Street Fighter idea. It's dumb if you think, because just admit I'm gonna beat you, and that's why you're not gonna do it. And instead, just come on the show instead. Right? Just come on the show.
You want me to be on some stupid podcast? Give me money. Not peon money either. Something that like 5K is even low ball. I need 10. I need 10 bands for this.
Now he wants 10. He's insane. This guy is so delusional. Right? He's so delusional. 10K? Dude, I got offered 5 times more than that to be a part of something. No one offers you anything, dude. You're not getting anything. What are you talking about? You're nuts.
Cause really, what am I gonna do with 5K? Like, I'm from Cali. I live in SoCal. The fuck am I gonna do with $5,000?
Well, you can get a better background. Improve your setup, perhaps. You can work on your sexy, right? Maybe you get some nice stuff done to your face. You go to a spa or whatever. I don't know. Get some food. I don't know whatever you want. You can do with 5K. Certainly, definitely, you could do something with it. That's for sure. But this guy's nuts. I'm in SoCal. 5K is nothing to me, dude. You have 3,600 subs on Twitch. So you make about 7-8K a month. So you must do something with 5K, right? You must be paying your bills, right?
Throw it in my bank account and let it sit there? Like, what the fuck am I going to do with that?
So wait a minute. Just listen to this reasoning. I don't need 5K because it'll just sit in my bank account. What am I going to do with it? So then why are you asking for 5K? He's already gone in cyclical logic. He's fucked himself already what he's saying. Like, I don't need the money. Then why are you asking for money? Right? Like, what are you talking about? If you don't need 5K, why do you have a subscriptions goal on your screen and you're asking to hit 3,700? If you don't need the money, why are you asking for it? In fact, if you don't need the money, why are you even streaming right now? Why just turn it off and just have a nice private life to yourself, and then no one has to ever talk about LTG ever again, right? Like, I don't know.
Like 5K don't even excite me. You should have maybe offered me 5 bins, maybe even 2020.
What is he talking
Like,
about?
oh shit, 5K, right?
What was that?
Now it's like,
what was that? Hold on a second. What was that?
bins, maybe even 2020. I'd have been like, oh shit, 5K, right?
What the fuck was that?
Should have maybe offered me 5 bins, maybe even 2020. I'd have been like, oh shit, 5K, right?
What was that? I don't even know what to say. How do you comment on that? What the fuck was that? Was there a demon being exorcised from his throat? He was like, poltergeist coming out of him? What the fuck was that? Does he know he's live right now? He knows the camera's been on the whole time, right?
Now it's like, okay, let's just say this. I got 5K, right? That I didn't have before. So to me, it's just money. It's just disposable to me. Shit, buy some Balenciagas. That's a band. Save the 4. I mean, the fuck. That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck would I do with 5K? Throw it in my bank account?
So why are you asking for it? If you don't need money, why are you asking for money to qualify for an appearance? I'll tell you why. Because you're being a pussy. You don't want to leave your castle. You just want to sit there and do your own thing, which is fine. That's fully respectable. But then don't make up excuse after excuse. Just say, I want to be left alone. I don't want to do it. Goodbye. And then people would probably like stop. But dude, first it's, oh, I'm clout chasing. I'm not clout chasing. I have no clout to gain from you. I want to make content people want to see. People want to see this. Well, I want $5,000. No one's paying you $5,000. You may make some money from doing it. Well, now I don't need the $5,000. So shut the fuck up. All right? Be a man and either say, I'm going to come on your show. We'll have a conversation. I'll leave my fucking comfort zone and private bubble to do something that people actually want to see. Instead of sitting on my stream, reading off my fucking Discord and doing boring shit, do something interesting for once. All right? And you can take your 3,700 subs over to your stream and you can make bank on it. You will. The people will support you if you do interesting content. All right? Or you can keep sitting here delusionally making excuses in your own fucking head about why you don't want to do content. All right? It's not that people have to pay you up front. It's not that, oh, I don't need the money. It's not that there's a clout chaser. It's because you just don't want to make interesting content. You're afraid because Jay Snyder destroyed you years ago when you tried and he beat you in a match. That's what it is. He crushed you. He crushed your gems. You understand? Permanently. Apparently your gems never came back. He crushed them and they haven't grown back. That's sad. You got to stop being like that, man. You got to go out and do something fun and something interesting. The truth is I have no malice towards this man whatsoever. Zero. I just know that making content with him is what people want. They want to see us talk. They want to see us maybe play some fighting games, you know? They want to see us have at it. And I'm cool with that. I'm not going to take it to the extreme. I'm not going to sit there and talk about personal shit in his life that no one should know. I'm not going to fucking be below the belt hitting him and shit. Because the truth is I don't even know that shit anyway. You know? I want to have a conversation with the guy. That's it. That's literally it. Because that's what people want. But he won't let it happen. He has every excuse possible. Right? Every excuse possible. Stop with the fucking excuses. Either say, I'm not going to do it because I'm a puss and I want to sit around and do my own shit forever, or do it. Those are your two options. No excuses are going to change that. All right? No rationale, no fucking coping, which is what you're doing. You're trying to cope by making all these things up. Just fucking say yes or no. All right? And if it's a no, we all know why. And if it's a yes, wow, that would be amazing, and people would love it. All right? It's just so dumb. He's going on for 4.5 minutes. He has nothing to say. He's making fucking voices. What the fuck are you doing? Just fucking say yes or no.
That's all you can do is really save it. Buy one little cool thing and save the rest. Well, y'all gotta stop bothering me if you're not gonna pay me, bro.
This guy's, you gotta stop bothering me if you're not gonna pay me. By the way, I don't need the money. He literally doesn't listen to himself. He doesn't. He thinks that like everything he says is so cherished and interesting. He doesn't understand that he just contradicts himself immediately.
Just like that mask nigga that keeps calling me out. Pay me money. Give me 10 bands, nigga. You want my presence with a corny ass fighting game that only you're gonna get all the benefits off of? I need double-digit thousands.
You see? It's 100% Jay Snyder destroyed this man. Crushed his nuts. Oh, excuse me. I meant to say gems, but I guess crushed his nuts too. Because he has no nuts anymore. Because he won't do anything because he's so... I have to get giant personal benefit out of anything I do. Because he really thought he was going to beat Jay, and that was going to be his big propulsion into stardom. And then he lost to Jay, and since then he's been the whipping boy of the FGC, and he just can't get any kind of like feeling back down there. It's sad. That's fucking sad. Jay Snyder crushed your nuts, and now you can't come back from it. It's been like a decade since that happened, too. That's just really sad, man.
Top shoe brand is right now? Shit, I don't know.
Does he know anything? He doesn't know anything about the fighting games. He doesn't know anything about shoes. What does he know? Does he even know that his LED wall is facing the wrong way and no one can see it on camera?
Shit, I think New Balance is killing it. Asics is killing it.
He just said he didn't know. He just said he didn't know, and then he spouted off the fucking exact facts that people wanted to hear anyway. Oh my god. This is just ridiculous, man. All right, well, here's the deal. I really hope that this guy will see reason. I do. I hope that he'll see reason. I hope that he'll see, you know, the fact that this is things people want. People said this is what people want. There's money to be made. There's views to be had. For what? For us to just sit here and talk. Literally just to sit here and fucking talk. I'm not even shitting you. Like, just us having a normal conversation. People would go nuts. Because they wanted this for ages. And now he's like, he just wants to sit there and do nothing. I just don't understand that. You know? Maybe what it is. And here's the thing. It's not like no one gave him respect. Because he had the interview with Destiny. You know? If anything, so I had the interview with Kino Casino. Right? It gave me respect. It opened me up to a whole new audience, a whole new group of eyes. People like me now. They want to come by. They want to hang out with me with my content. They want to have a good time. Correct? So he had that moment with Destiny. So what happened? Right? I don't get it. You would think that would have been his stepping stone out of his safe zone to do fun stuff. I don't think there's any harm in doing a crossover event at all. I don't think it's going to hurt either of us. Because if we play Street Fighter and I beat him, who gives a fuck? No one thought he was going to beat me anyway, right? You know, so nobody cares about that. If he just appears on my podcast, but I think the podcast appearance would be better than him playing Street Fighter with me. Being honest with you, I do. I think that's just hanging out and having a conversation would be way more valuable than us doing stupid Street Fighter. Because I agree with him. It's dumb. Internet rivalry nonsense. What's to be had by that? Nobody cares. But for us to hang out, have a good time, it would be way more entertaining, right? I really believe that. And for some reason, this guy thinks I wish him ill will and shit. I don't. It's just that he constantly tosses insults and says dumb shit that makes no sense. You know? You notice now, he doesn't say anything about how I look anymore. Did you notice that? Because I destroyed him last year when he did that shit. I was like, dude, that's fucking bizarre the way you're acting. So now he doesn't mention it anymore. Now I want money. All right, well, what if you're going to make the money? Oh, I don't need the money. Like, dude, that's every excuse in the book. Every fucking excuse in the book. Enough is enough with this nonsense, right? So it's this simple. You should either agree or say, I have absolutely no interest whatsoever. And don't make 27 excuses about it Just say, yeah, this would actually be pretty good. We get views and we make money doing it. So I want to do it. We should do it. Or, no, I just want to sit in my little isolated bubble forever. And you know what? If that's the case, right? If that is the case, I will respect that. I will. I'll respect that because I was abused for 10 years on the internet. I was treated as the internet's whipping boy, right? I really was. And now, for the last month and a half, things have changed. I got more viewers. I got more engagement. I got more support. I got people talking about me in a positive light. I got guests coming on my show. We got momentum. That's a great thing to have. So now, things are different. Now to reach out to a guy like him and to build the bridge, and you know what I mean? That'd be tremendous. You know what I'm saying? But the sad fact here is this guy is so punch drunk. Like, I feel like he's gotten beaten up by the internet for a decade. And so he doesn't want to do anything. And the thing is, I can understand that. That's exactly how I felt. You understand? That's exactly how I felt. And every time that I would try to do something like the Side Scrollers interview, look what happens, right? Finally, with Kino Casino, it turned around. Much for the better. So now, I feel like I could extend that olive branch to him. He could come on the show. We could just sit here and talk for an hour. We'd have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And the funny part is a lot of you guys in chat are being toxic to him and saying shit about his personal life. I don't give a fuck about LTG's personal life. I really don't. I don't want to know about anything behind the scenes that you guys have discovered, secret lore and shit. I don't give a fuck. I just want to sit here and have a conversation with the man about all kinds of stuff. Why do you think people have called you the Black DSP, right? Honestly, what are your thoughts about the modern FGC, right? What do you think about games right now, right? What kind of content do you actually want to make in the future? Are you really done with fighting games to the point where you just want to sit there and talk to people on Discord? Are you interested in interviews? This is just I just asked a bunch of questions that are interesting that people would want to hear the answers to, right? We don't need to hear about his fucking what's going on in his life, his fucking private shit. It's fucked up. People did that to me for a decade. No, I'm not gonna go there. I just want to have a man-to-man conversation where you can get to know this guy in a personable way without people just dumping giant loads of duty on him, which is probably what's happened to him every single time he's tried to do anything for ages. And he thought that that Destiny appearance was going to work. But the problem is, you can't do it that way. You can't go to someone who no one had interest in seeing you talk to and think that's going to change things. You got to go to people who actually have interest, you know, to see the DSP, LTG, collab. That's hype. People wanted that for 10 years. But you can't make someone see reason. Like, he's got to have... I would say this, if anyone out there is, like, close to this guy, like, actually, like, you're a friend of his, you got to talk reason to him. Make him see some reason here. You know? The stuff he's saying is delusional. No one's paying him $5K, $10K to come on anyone's show because he doesn't have that kind of value. He just doesn't. All right? But to see him do a crossover event, like the likes of this that people have asked for a long time, that would put butts in seats. I wouldn't be shocked if LTG came on the Level 1 podcast. I wouldn't be shocked if that did better than the Keemstar appearance. I'm just being honest. I think it would. I think it would benefit him huge, and we'd get tons of views and a good positive eye on the guy. But he has to want to get out of his bubble, and it seems like he just doesn't want to get out of the bubble. He's stuck in the bubble, right? And that's sad. Okay. But I'm just saying if you're someone close to him or friendly with him, I don't want people going harassing him in his chat. I don't want people going on his streams and his Discord being dicks to this man at all. That's the opposite of what I want. That's not what I'm intending here. And if you do that, you're a fucking asshole. And I'm gonna fucking tell you right now, I'm not condoning that. I'm condemning it. No one is to harass this man. All right, he's got to make the decision for himself. It's gonna be a big step. Honestly, that's a huge step to make. So you got to understand that. Let him think about it. All right, and it's that simple. Be nice to the guy. Treat others how you want to be treated, correct? Well, the guys talked shit about me for a very long time, back and forth, and now I'm laying down the truth of the matter of what I think should happen. The ball's in his court, all right? But no more excuses. That's what really is getting me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so stupid. That it's fucking, oh, I need money, and you got to work on your crispy, sexy. What the fuck are you talking about? Be a man and say yes or no. All right? All right. That's that. We've got a couple shout outs to do. And one final thing that, actually, you know what? Let's just do this quick, because this will be very quick. Tomorrow, Sony is going to do a presentation at 8 a.m. I will not be watching that said presentation live because I'll probably be sleeping. All right, but I will try to watch it, and maybe we could watch it together tomorrow on the show. So it is a 9-minute, all right, a 9-minute stream, and it's going to cover technical stuff. Now, the last time that Mark Cerny hosted technical stuff, it was for the announcement of the PS5. And the time before, it was for the announcement of the PS4 Pro. So, of course, everyone is speculating that this is going to be him announcing this big new thing that is going to be PS5 Pro, right? So we'll see what happens. And tomorrow, we'll probably watch this together live. Well, not live, but we'll watch it together. It'll be on demand because I'm not going to be watching it at 8 a.m. And we'll react to it and see what it's all about. Okay? But you're right. Guerrero says you have a gaming PC now. Why do you need the PS5 Pro? I really don't. Honestly, I really don't. Unless I'm going to eventually like capture and stream in 4K or 1440p. And I'm going to do it on PlayStation exclusive games. I really don't need the PS5 Pro, right? Okay. So that's tomorrow. All right, that'll be part of the show tomorrow. And, of course, anything else that happens as well. I don't know what else will happen between now and tomorrow. You never know. We got a few shout-outs to do, but not many. I'm going to be honest, guys. Yeah, contributions today have been slow. And if we're going to keep this King Streak going, to have this fun, feasting with the King on Saturday, we got to pick it up because there's nothing right now. We have one tip the entire podcast, guys. All right? We do have some super chats here. What do we got here? Constructive Criticism did a super chat. LTG has barely ever said your name. He doesn't care about you. It's a weird thing to keep begging him to give you attention. Like, why? So I'm imagining the clips that I've seen where he's talking about my physical appearance and shit. Right? I'm imagining the interaction that we had years ago. I'm imagining the interaction that we had last year. I'm imagining it all. He never talked about me ever. Right. Whatever you say. Why do I want his attention? Because now I'm branching out to make different kinds of content, and this is the kind of content people would love to see. There's literally not a single reason why we should not have a fun conversation on this show. There's no reason at all. He will benefit. I will benefit. The internet wants it. Why not do it? Why just sit there and stew in your little room and make a million excuses as to why not to do it? It just doesn't make any logical sense, but I don't think it's logic that's coming into play here. And here we go, another super chat. Stop begging other men for their attention, dude. Well, stop paying me with super chats to say comments. It's pretty stupid. You just did 2 super chats. Apple's Yo did a super chat. Crazy you're actually spitting these facts. It would be a big content boost for both. LTG is kind of dumb here. I think he's worth a lot. It would be fun. Here's the thing. I'm not saying LTG doesn't have value. He does not have upfront value. He has value that he can make content and the content's good and then he'll get rewarded for it. If he comes on this show and we have a good show together and he'll get a boost. People might go check out his content. They might support him. That's literally what happened with me. I went on Kino Casino, which was not in my wheelhouse to do. I branched out. I had a great appearance. The viewers there came over, gave me a chance, realized they liked me, and now they're supporting me and watching my content. That's how it works. That's how all of this works. It's not, oh, you pay me up front for something, magically I get tons of money for my existing. That's not how the internet works. It never was, okay? Number 1, T Gravy Z fan did a super chat. Just so you know, now I don't believe this at all. This sounds like baloney to me. LTG works at a 7-Eleven overnight as a cashier. He poops in the shower and stomps it down the drain, and he has a 10-year-old daughter. See, that's all bullshit. Or maybe some of it's true, but I don't care. Like, I literally don't care about any of that. I would not say a word about any of that shit because I don't care about it. It's has nothing to do with me. What he does in his private life, if he has another job, if he has a family, I don't give a fuck. That's not what that's what the drama queens want. That's exactly what the fucking drama queens want. Who cares about that? Not me. Like, I really don't give 2 fucks about that. I don't think that's talking about that shit benefits anyone. Me, him, anyone. So, yeah, Anyway. Anyway, that's that about that topic. And by the way, Jade, how you doing? I saw that you were saying hello, but I was in the middle of my discussion there. All right, so guys, that's where we are. We got about 10 minutes left for anything you guys want to talk about. If you want to tag me in the chat, all right? Or if any contributions come in, I'll shout them out. Right now, as you can see, man, we got a real slow start to our King's Tips today. So hopefully we can get that picking up a bit. And by the way, we're almost at 200 likes. We still have over 600 viewers. We're at 183. Let's get that to 200 likes right now, guys. If you enjoyed the show, please give it a like. The engagement has helped this channel tremendously. Okay? Oh, no, Gareth, nobody cares about Review Tech. No one talks about him or gives a shit about him anymore. That's why I wouldn't talk about him. Basically, Gareth in the chat says, did you know that Rich set up a stream for 2 days? The entire setup's around you. No one cares. Like, literally, no one cares. The guy can sit there and broadcast to himself or his fucking, nonsensical echo chamber. No one gives a fuck about that guy. He hasn't learned a thing. What did I say when I had his last chip? A month ago. Actually, it's a month now. If you guys didn't know, it's been 1 month since I reacted to the Review Tech documentary with the Kino Casino guys. All right? And in 1 month, what did I say at the end? I said, Rich still has a chance to change. But all he has to do, he has to acknowledge his mistakes. He has to fess up to them. And he has to start making content that's better. Has he done that at all in the month since that react? Has he made a single positive change? It's a month later. It's the same shtick. He's doing the same shit. Yeah, oh, I'm going to make fun of Phil again. No one cares about you making fun of me, Rich. Literally no one. Maybe you, like it's the only thing you get pleasure out of. But you understand, you're not punching down anymore. You get that, right? You're not punching down anymore, bro. You're trying to punch up. And no one cares. Because I got your last fucking chip. You've been destroyed. Felted for 10 years of abuse. Nobody gives a fuck about you bullying me anymore. It doesn't matter. You might as well talk to your fucking closet. All right? You're not going to get any kind of big views or attention for making fun of Darkside Phil because no one cares. The only people who cares by detractors. That's it. So, go take a hike. No one gives a fuck about Review Tech. There's no point to waste time on it. Okay. I received an $11 tip from One Sick Puppy. Look to the cookie, Phil. Look to the cookie. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't have a cookie. Oh, God. What is with these animations lagging recently? It's like the page. I have to hit refresh on the page every day now. If I don't, the animation totally lags. And it's weird because I have restarted my computer recently. So it's not the PC. It's something to do with the animations now are having issues. Very weird. Well, anyway, thank you, One Sick Puppy, for an $11 tip. That's the biggest tip of the day so far. Okay. All right. Anything else, guys? You want to tag me in chat if you have something to talk about, or if any other contributions come in, I'll shout them out. Now would be the time to bring it up, since we're about to end the show. By the way, I'm just curious really fast. I wanted to see how many views the June the King documentary on me has now.
You're right.
677, so it's plateaued. That's a shame. I was really hoping that in the week, because now it's been out for a week, I was really hoping that in the week he was going to get 1 million views for the amount of work and effort he put into that. But honestly, I mean, we talked about it yesterday. I really think there's 2 factors involved. Number one, when you start watching the documentary, you realize it's a nothing burger, meaning there's really nothing huge and controversial or that bad in the documentary. There's no grooming. There's no insane scandals or scams. There's no, horrendous, over-the-top working with hackers and doxers. There's no lying about cancer. I keep going. There's like nothing that bad in there. So you start off thinking, oh, this is going to be good. And you start watching it like, this is not that good. There's not that much here. There's not a lot of substance, right? And then also the fact it's 4 hours long. And it's really hard to retain attention for 4 hours unless you're really invested in the subject. So my detractors will watch it for 4 hours. I'll watch it for 4 hours. But I would have a hard time believing. I would have a hard time believing that a common person wants to sit down and watch a 4-hour documentary about Darkside Phil when there's no big moneymaker in there. You know what I'm saying? There is no big, oh shit moment. It's just kind of like a bunch of little stuff over the years that my detractors have become so insane, over the top, obsessed with, right? That's the thing. Everyone on the internet hated me, but then they realized, wait a minute, there really was nothing that bad to hate on him. Even if you believe all the most heinous things about me, it's still not that bad, right? And the thing is, they're not all true. Some of them are. I admitted to some of them during the documentary react, but they're not all true. So that's just, I feel bad because I think I'm going to ask him tomorrow, not tomorrow. I'm going to ask him Friday. Is June happy with the performance of the documentary? And does, how did he think it would perform? Obviously he put more effort into it. Is he happy with this? Because I actually feel sad. I wanted it to do better for him. I really did. I wanted to do better. I wanted him to get 1 million views in a week. And I did my best. I promoted the hell out of it. I reacted to the whole goddamn thing. I did as much as I think I could possibly do myself. Right? Okay. Let's see. I received $1.01 tip. This person says you're ignoring the fact LTG has done 3 interviews: Destiny, Wings of Redemption, and No Jumper. Okay, so here's the point. Does anyone know anything about those interviews or care? Right? Literally. Who was asking for LTG to talk to Wings of Redemption? Who was asking for LTG to talk to Destiny? I don't even know who No Jumper is. Right? People have been asking for DSP X LTG for a decade. He literally danced around what everyone wanted. Wow, that sounded like a good idea, right? He danced around what everyone wanted. It's just silly. It's the equivalent of the side scrollers had every person they knew on the internet on their show and no one cared. Then they had me on their show and it exploded because that's what people wanted. You got to give the people what they want. No one was asking for those crossovers. No one cares about them. He doesn't even have history with any of those people. It's like he's avoiding what people want. It's very bizarre. Okay. Just listen. So here's someone saying, No Jumper is a big podcast. Okay, Destiny is one of the most popular Twitch streamers. Okay, who said we want to see LTG on those? Like, for example, right now, who said that they want to see me go on, what's the name of that podcast? The one that was anti-Keemstar for a while. I can't remember what it was. He Productions or something like that. Something like, I don't know. But, like, is anyone saying, man, we really wish DSP would go on that podcast? Has anyone asked for that? No. So I went on the podcast. It might be okay for like a second, and no one would give a shit. People want to see me do collabs with people who have association or rivalries or drama or something for years, right? People want to see that. That's what people are asking for. You have to do what people are asking for, right? You can't just say, well, I'm just going to do something random and hope that it sticks. No one cares. No one gives a shit. Really? Stibble says LTG has mentioned you multiple times randomly, but he just always mentions your age now instead of the way you look. Yeah, age is not much you can do about it. You get old. Everyone gets old, right? Everyone gets old, and I'm gonna basically age gracefully as much as I can. You're not gonna see me dyeing my beard. You're not gonna see me doing hair club for men. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna see me get old. That's what happens to everyone. As they get older, they look different, You have to accept that. And, you know, that's life. So I don't care about trying to look young for the rest of my life. I'm not going to be young for the rest of my life. Wouldn't it be more interesting to see me turn into the elder statesman of YouTube, well versed in how YouTube works and all of its ways and gaming? I've been in gaming now for 16 years as a creator and climbing. I'm also going to hit my 17-year anniversary coming up. And it's like, isn't that more interesting than seeing someone try to pretend like they're young and see them try, getting facelifts and makeup and fucking dyeing their hair, doing all this dumb shit? Like, who cares? Stop being fake, right? I don't want to be fake. Anyway, I received a $29 tip. Thank you so much, whoever this is. It's anonymous. And this person says, that's a great shirt for the stream. Where are you getting these? What are our potential vest and hat tip options for today? I told you guys, I don't spend a lot of money on my wardrobe at all. This I got from either, I want to say it was either like a Burlington store or a TJ Maxx store, or what's the other one? Marshall's store. Or I might have gotten this from Plato's Closet. Plato's Closet is a store where clothes that are relatively not worn at all or only very minorly worn are cleaned and repurposed and sold for a massive discount. So that's where I got this shirt, for one of those places. I think this is an Urban Outfitters shirt, actually. And I love the design. It's got the rabbits on it and everything. It's a really nice shirt, right? It's a super good shirt. What are our vest and hat options? That's up to you guys. You know, when we hit 100, yeah, for sure, we'll do a poll for a hat. And when we hit 150, we'll do a poll for a vest. I definitely can wear a vest over this today. No problem. I'll let you guys decide what you want. All right, but we got to get there. We got to get going. Now we're at 51 bucks out of the 150 goal. Keep that king streak alive, okay? And Apple's Yo did a super chat, and he said a bunch of stuff that there's no way that I'm going to read that. Sorry, I'm just definitely not going to read that. I have no interest in reading that drama stuff that you just posted up. But thank you for the super chat. What just happened? There we go. That's correct. Destiny is huge. H3 or He are gigantic. That's all correct. But the point I'm making is crossover events and appearances need to make sense, right? Literally right now, if I dropped everything and I appeared on Destiny's show, it would do absolutely positively nothing for me whatsoever. It wouldn't help me at all. I wouldn't get a boost in attendance or viewership. The collaborations have to make sense. By me showing on Kino Casino, guys who've ragged on me before, people who didn't like me now see me in a different light, and their eyes are open. They're like, wow, this is fascinating. Let's now go check them out, right? By having former foes like Keem on the show, by having Stuttering Craig face the music on my show, this is the content people would like to see. You understand? You have to make content people desire, not just content for content's sake. The collabs don't make sense, right? Like, nobody cares about me being on Destiny's show at all. It would do absolutely nothing for me because there's no collaboration. There's nothing there. The one association we have is he wanted to talk to me about cars. I don't give a fuck. All right? About his stupid car thing. That was it. That was 7 years ago. There's nothing else the man can offer me. Ralph Amail says he was responding to text. He couldn't see you at the time. That's why he didn't bring up your looks. Well, there you go. Well, now I'm sure people are going to clip today and send it to him. I'm going to clip that segment and make it for the channel, but it's going to be long because it took a while there to get background or whatever. I might just clip the portion where I'm reacting to his reaction rather than the whole intro part, but we'll see. Why not debate politics with Destiny? Because I don't care. I'm not a politics guy. I'm not going to sit here and talk about politics with anyone because I don't want to make political content at this time. That's why. I don't even know Destiny's stances on any politics. I don't follow politics on the internet. I don't give a shit. I would have nothing to say. I'd be completely misinformed and I would have nothing to add. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I think it's time to end the show. I do want to say thank you guys who chilled and who supported in the various different ways. We're 196 likes. Let's hit 200. And thanks to those who did super chats. No memberships yet today. And we did get a little bit of leeway there, and headway, I should say, into the tips. So thank you for that. It is time to end the show. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. Tomorrow, number one, we're definitely going to be reacting to whatever this tech thing is from Sony. regarding the PS4, PS5 Pro, and anything else that happens in news. Will LTG respond? Very doubtful. Seems like he's very sluggish to respond to anything. I guess we'll see what happens, all right? But thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed the show. Time for Black Myth Wukong and Street Fighter. And if not, then I'll see you tomorrow morning for another cool episode of the Level 1 Podcast.